Recipe for the everyday. Once, during atmospheric deluge, I wrote on daffodils. Armored against impudence and optimism, we practiced live flower drills. Now it's calendula. Their orange, boastful cheer burst on the scene. Audacious blooms appear. Sprinkle edible petals, beet sprouts atop tender lettuce, toss baby greens, and lightly dress. Black pepper grinds back of throat, tickles the lump where words get caught. Baby greens, tender hearts, or baby heads. There are babies being wrapped for dead. This is not a poem, but a nightmare. Poetry, a hairball over the globe. Spit of innocence, spittle of remorse, drool of rage. Make a poem from a nightmare. Consonants scrape the palate and vowels pile up. That lump in throat is no metaphor. Wasted saline breaths and threadbare protests. School children chant. Read books, not eulogies. The whole world cries, not another bomb. Not a poem, but a recipe for liberation. Do you believe the story before we were free? Elephants know animals that walk in the desert, that walk on water. From flower to honey, from soil, from trash, from waste, back from the brink. Guardians of being. Let the whole earth sing praise.
Mbembe, I heard you made that leap. Cut the cord, flew with no helmet or wings. I guess it had come to that. But your flight caught me twisted, hung out over the bar, fingers wrapped around the brim of my own salty dog. I had forgotten that poetry cannot save us, that the price we all pay for entrance into this world is death. Yet the old ones say there are always signs. Changes in the weather, the way dust blows up before summer comes on, or the movement of birds across great spaces. So late at night, with warm beer, cigarettes half smoked, I read through your books looking for a sign, the note, some sense of your own amen corner. But all that comes back to me are your lines that stagger like a worn lover, then push on to a perception sharp as the wind that must have cut your face on the way down.
When I hear you say, I'm from Gaza, I fear my blindness. When I hear you say, I'm from Gaza, I fear your blindness.
When I hear you say, I'm from Israel, my blood boils. I pull my weapon at the moment, a deep breath, whispering to myself, ready for the war.
When I hear you say, I'm from Gaza, I grasp you are alive to tell me more. When I hear you say, I'm from Gaza, my shame veils my presence, my face, my ears, my mind are draped with your story.
When I hear you say, I'm from Israel, I don't assume the devil sits in front of me smirking, but
when I hear you say, I'm from Gaza, I pale. Words inside my body flutter. I'm not bad. I'm not bad. I live and I don't know what to say. I think of a book I must write.
when I hear you say, I'm from Israel, I expect to see my blood on your hands, cold and justified. But you open your mouth, then I see none.
When I hear you say, I'm from Gaza, I want to imagine the unimaginable. Show me pictures of your street before and after. Name it. Name your neighbors before and after. When I hear you say, I'm from Gaza, I think I must paint the screams I don't hear, and that there isn't enough love nor enough red paint, and what color to use for the silence between cries.
When I hear you say, I'm from Israel, and you unzip your chest, handing me your heart, same hearts, same humanity. I breathe again, I almost cry. Somewhere in paradise, Edward Said is saying to Mahmoud Darwish, see the students, I told you before. Thank God for the students. In another corner in paradise, Iman sits with her family. Ilya comes running, pointing far away at earth. Mama, Mama, see our names on the sign they are holding. Their father Taysir says, I heard the angels today talking about the protesting. The American students are protesting against genocide, protesting for a free Palestine. Mohaimin comments, but there are police at the protests with baton and pepper spray and gun. Mohab, his oldest brother, asks, but they protest peacefully against genocide. On Earth, a young man lying in a tent reaches for his cell phone. He watches the protesters around the world, chanting, "Free, free Palestine." He feels his heart again, which has been cold for many months. It's beating fast, down his spine. The electrical waves accumulate. He sinks into a feeling he had never experienced before, like he was ascending into paradise. He mumbles, "Is that hope?" An explosion nearby steals the moment.
I am a blind girl crawling through the shattered shards of her family's house under a sky full of bombs, feeling for a sister's touch. I am an intern leaning over an unconscious man on a gurney, checking blood pressure and oxygen levels, adjusting an IV drip, trying to stop my ears and hearing the whistles and crashes of mortars aimed at my hospital. I am a mother holding her children, crooning to them that everything will be okay, singing them safe, even as my own fear explodes with each bomb. I am a boy tuning a radio, searching for my favorite string quartet, desperate to replace the crescendo of the fear spreading under the metal storm. I am the pilot of a fighter jet carrying missiles like loaves of warm bread under its wings, my finger on the trigger, pretending that once I fire the missiles, they are no longer any of my business. I am a teenage girl drafted into military service, but refusing for the third time, knowing that I will be sent to prison for the third time. I am a poet, reading poems of love in another country, holding back tears and hoping to return to my family, whose house is now a crater. I am all of them and none of them. I wake up in terror, but it was only a nightmare, and this is my own bed. The sounds through my window are car horns and wind, not fighter bombers. The sky empty of threats. Except that I know the bombs will come here too, since they are our bombs.
The Great Silence. We will shatter the Great Silence and smash the Great Wall. U.S. blockade thwarting sharing Cuba's wealth of culture, science, her doctors' solidarity of health. With the spirit of Jose Marti in the light of Grandmother Moon, caimans explode silence, burst blockades to rubble, fight necessary wars as long as necessary. Grains, a love poem for those who do or don't come to the protest. All the world's glory held in a grain of corn, Jose Marti. To see a world in a grain of sand, William Blake. Here I am in the front line, where, my daddy told me, try not to be. But as I get older and the heart's the powerful colder, this is my grain of sand to tip the balance, my grain of corn to nourish. Your grains, perhaps, the soil and water, nourishing me.
Da, 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 da. Boom, boom, boom. Da, 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 da. Boom, boom. Your love boom, da, 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 means everything to me. Boom, boom, boom. Charles Wright, Watts 103rd Street Band. Used to fret whine, twist worry beads out of shape. Used to pout like a sixth grader starting preschool. Used to burden my wife-to-be with questions concealing statements and statements concealing questions. I don't think Avacha likes me. Used to be bothered by unceremoniously curt, gruff, brusque, businesslike behavior. The seasoned sisters in a New York state of mind, and she'll be over it in a New York minute, asserted my NYC wife-to-be. Fast forwarding a few million minutes, I love the way Avacha starts spreading the blues-infused news, sliding in it smoothly, Spanish to Spanglish to English and back again, bouncing it off elephant ears of satellite dishes, picking up maternal music frequencies of words. Love her electric throned superhero, defiant, reliant, no quit grit, out organizing, out working, out fighting, out loving our temporarily abled, tired asses. Once heard her weaponize words, put a pimp across her knee, spank his ass, make him ask, "Mother, may I get out of the game, get a gig driving Miss Daisy, Miss Mary, Miss Maddie, any senior sisters needing to shop, get to the bank, see the doctor." Fast forwarding a few million minutes, I love hearing Poppy was a dancing man with crackling, triumphant, presto log love, warmth when entering from frost, wool blanket, warm shower, hot apple cider, home-cooked meal love that made arrows make U-turns mid-air and embarrassed bullets drop to streets and supplication and apology. So yes, I'm grateful she calls me her brother from another mother and has Poppy love left for sharing with me.
Sister, liberation means a different thing to me, and because I'm sick and tired of being misrepresented in your studies, let me explain something to you. I work, I cook, I iron, I make brown rice and chicken soup, but I am not an earth mother, not a virgin, not a whore. No Madonna, no Lolita, no hot tamale, and I'm incapable of enduring all suffering in self-sacrificing silence. But when I come home, all shattered by the world, I ask for gifts. Back rubs, hot oil, kisses, and a tub filled to the rim with warm water. Sister, when he comes home, after fending off the noxious, fuming word deeds of your world, I give those gifts right back to him without waiting to be asked. Sister, liberation means a different thing to me. You see, I love beer, power tools, playing ball, and climbing trees. And because motherhood is sacred, I chose to do it only once. Para una muestra, un botón, we would say at home, of stuff we'd only do once. Sister, liberation means a different thing to me. When people ask me how I'm doing, I answer, en la lucha, engaged in the struggle. And when I say goodbye in writing, I pen, hasta la victoria siempre, until victory always. Like a growing snake, I've shed many skins. I trail bark shadows like strangler trees, but those are minute things. The fundamental struggle lies in nurturing endurance. I need it to survive. Sister, I hear you call me submissive whispering behind my back between your clenched teeth into your cupped hand, and I read the exchange of looks between you and your sisters. And because I am not God, I do not forgive nor forget. Why do you not understand liberation means a different thing to me? How you differently mistake my innate politeness for a lack of an informed opinion to dismiss the knowledge lurking behind my eyes. But let me explain something to you, okay? A feminist liberating consciousness is my inheritance. It's in my blood. It lives in me since I learned about it in Miss Gonzalez's third grade class way back in Canóvanas, Puerto Rico. Ah, sister, let me ask you something. Where were you in 1514? Huh? Where were you when Taino, Casica, Yuisa, and her women from Loaiza, Canóvanas, Rio Grande, Fajardo, Luquillo, Vieques, and Culebra fiercely resisted the Spanish conquistadores' imperialist sexual advances? Where were you on September 23, 1868, when Mariana Bracetti embroidered the Puerto Rican flag to be hoisted at the proclamation of the newly born republic? Our baby republic, fighting the imposed breastfeeding and the title last colony in the civilized world, untrained to breathe lead, died that week, but lived on the consciousness of the people as El Grito de Lares uprising. Where were you? Where were you? And where were you when twice deported poet, militant, revolutionary Lola Rodriguez de Tio penned the national Puerto Rican anthem, La Borinqueña? Huh? And where were you in 1904 when Luisa Capetillo pulled on her gentleman's suit and rode her horse at breakneck speed through dusty, quiet towns, then dismounted long enough to write a feminist manifesto? Sister, again, let me ask you one more thing. Did you ever hear it said that colonization fosters a sense of ownership and justification of superiority? Well, perhaps I should explain it in a different language. Hell, when we bring our bruised egos home, the external war-torn environment and the state of siege of our inner reality connect. Sister, do you now see how liberation means a different thing to me?
Walking home a different route from the library, you kick a pebble or two. A woman turns, sees you, walks faster, crossing the street. What scares her about you? You want to ask, but don't. Keep walking in your worn-out sneakers. Try to shake off her fear. Push your hands deeper into your pockets. At 14, test your invisibility, sinking into your hoodie, frightened for what is waiting for you around the corner. Mama always said, watch for what is waiting around the corner.
Bent double, like old beggars under sacks, knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge, till on the haunting flares we turned our backs and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on bloodshod. All went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Gas! Gas! Quick, boys! An ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time, but someone still was yelling out and stumbling and floundering like a man in fire or lime. Dim through the misty panes and thick green light as under a green sea, I saw him drowning. In all my dreams, before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in and watch the white eyes writhing in his hanging face like a devil's sick of sin. If you could hear at every jolt the blood come gargling from the froth-corrupted lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cud of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues, my friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory the old lie, dulce et decorum est pro patria mori.